This is it. It's here. It's happening. This is the moment that the market has been waiting for. This is the signal. Ignore the noise. As we always say, watch for the actual signal. An Ethereum ETF could be coming in just a couple of days. Huge things have happened since we last spoke on this topic. Crazy things happening in the market. ETH's pumping, altcoins pumping. Everyone's getting super excited. I'm going to break that story down for you. Let's just go ahead and get straight into this because it's absolutely massive. So, this is where it all started. Eric Balkunis and James Seifert, they are Bloomberg ETF analysts. He said, we're increasing our odds of a spot Ether ETF approval up to 75%. That was up from their previous 25%. They said they're hearing chatter this afternoon that the SEC could be doing a 180 on this increasingly political issue. Very important point there. So now everyone is scrambling, like us. Everyone else assumed they'd be denied. Crazy stuff. So we're having a bunch of refilings happening right now. Eric also saying the stakes are pretty good. Look at all the entrants dealing with this fire drill, hearing that the SEC wants to receive revised 19B-4 returned to them by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Based on a bunch of comments I just received today for likely approval as soon as Wednesday. Are you hearing what's happening? Somebody got the call. Okay, I want to be very clear about this. You have to understand how this game is played. Somebody got the call. Now, whether that was BlackRock calling in and saying, you guys got to stop this bullshit. We need Ethereum ETFs. We want to make that money. Or whether this has become such a political issue, which also just blows my mind how much of a political issue crypto has become. The Democrats in the United States see they're getting their butts kicked. They see they're down in the polls. They see Trump going crypto. They see RFK Jr. being very pro-crypto, all these pro-crypto candidates and all these Americans who are into crypto and all the money in crypto, more importantly, it wants all these things to happen. Joe Biden is out of step with the times. The Democrats are out of step with the times. People like Senator Elizabeth Warren, nobody likes what she's doing. Who is she playing to? Certainly not her base, certainly not her voters, certainly not people she represents. And increasingly, the Democrats are realizing that they're losing on this particular issue. So we could be seeing that big political turnaround actually happening because of this, which is pretty crazy to think about. James coming in with a quick note says, we'd increase their odds up. But he said, that's just for 19B-4 approvals, okay? That's for the May 23rd deadline. He said we also need S-1 approvals, which are, nerdy ETF stuff, right? But basically, he says it could be weeks to months before we actually see the S1 approvals and thus a live Ethereum ETF hitting the market. So that's a very, very, very important point that we need to highlight, that we could see, well, in the next 48 hours, an Ethereum ETF approved. Spot ETF, no staking involved, okay? They've had to remove all the staking language out. We covered that last week. I said maybe something's changing here. Why are they doing this at the last minute? Maybe somebody's talking about it. Even then, these analysts were saying, well, yeah, it's happening, but not enough definitive evidence yet going forward. But now we have all this going on the past few days. Absolutely massive potential here for what we're seeing news-wise. But it is really important to point out that we still need those S-1 approvals. Essentially, we could get ETH ETFs approved, well, tomorrow, basically, Thursday this week, which is the final deadline. However, they may not start trading for a little while, which is also interesting because that could just be this Goldilocks moment in the market where everybody knows it's coming. Everybody just gets super excited. Things pump like crazy before we actually get the approvals coming in. So very interesting. Andrew King pointing out this ETH ETF approval is not an isolated event, perhaps a U-turn in the Democratic Party's policy stance toward crypto more broadly. He said, in that case, you are not bullish enough. Imagine this. Every major party, well, I guess both major, only two major parties, but also you can count RFK Jr. and let's say all the major political candidates in the United States, basically everybody having to be pro-crypto, and everybody now potentially going to try to start falling over themselves. But I'm more crypto than this guy. No, I'm more pro-crypto than that guy. That guy's not pro-crypto enough. Do you see what's happening? Holy crap, man. Holy crap. Hey, Ignis here. One just, keep everyone in check a little bit. He says, if an ETF is approved, I worry about Grayscale outflows. Grayscale currently holds $9 billion in ETH with a large percent, of course, acquired at a significant discount. Will there be sufficient demand for Ethereum ETFs to offset the potential outflows? He says, at this market stage, I doubt it. We shall see, of course. We know that grayscale Bitcoin outflows have been a huge damper to the overall effect of the Bitcoin ETFs. We still had $14 billion or whatever in inflows for Bitcoin ETFs, but it definitely was a bit of a spoiler of the Bitcoin ETF party. All those large grayscale outflows happening all the time. We're probably gonna have the same thing with the ETH grayscale ETF too. Just something to keep in mind. Look at this candle, by the way. We have to take a look at it and appreciate that's the weekly candle for Ethereum, currently up 25%. Big fat greenie right there. Look at that, boy. Now, obviously, completely breaking out of the downtrend here. If all this is for nothing and we get a denial, still possible. If this is all for nothing and we get a denial, we have to really keep that in mind. If that happens, we are going to see a very, very nasty weekly candle here. We're going to retrace all the gains we've just had for Ethereum and probably most of the crypto market this week. But hey, that's for later us to worry about. Real quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is crypto.com. Guys, have you had a chance to check out these awesome debit cards yet? Check this bad boy out. I've been using mine for years. Absolutely love it. This is a great way to be able to cash out your crypto gains and spend easily. Sell your crypto coins, load cash onto your card right from the crypto.com app. And bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. You got money you can spend at a restaurant, buy a shirt, buy a car, whatever you want to do, wherever Visa's accepted, you can use this. Now, this is the Jade Green card, but there's different card tiers: Ruby Steel, Midnight Blue, Icy White, and of course the crazy Obsidian card. Now, what you have to do in order to get different tier access is to stake a certain amount of CRO coins. Once you've done that, you can get then in line for some wild cashback rewards. So these are cashback rewards paid with CRO tokens, anywhere between 1% and 5%, depending on what level of card you actually end up getting yourself. I've got the Jade Greens found, and it's a nice balance between the amount you need to stake versus the rewards that you get, considering how much I use it. So of course, you can check out and see which one you want to get yourself. All kinds of crazy cool benefits as well. Free Spotify, Netflix, Amazon Prime, X Premium, all that kind of stuff. Lots of fringe cool benefits, plus free cash withdrawals. So lots to love about the crypto.com Visa card. If you want to get yourself a card or just learn more about what the guys are doing at crypto.com with these cool cards, then there's a link in the description. You should go check it out. Thanks again for the guys at crypto.com for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get into this. Standard Chartered. They expect Ether ETF approval this week. They're reiterating their end of year $8,000 to $8,000 Ethereum. Yes. You're here for it. I'm here for it. Let's go. This is exciting. Standard Chartered. These are the kind of Ethereum bulls that we need. Okay, this is great. Fantastic. $8,000 ETH if we get the approval. I could see it happening. It's only 100% gains from here, approximately 120% or something. It's not that crazy for ETH, is it? And that's probably a good amount of the way towards the final cycle peak price of between $12,000 and $15,000. Interesting. I love it. Now, of course, if an Ethereum ETF gets approved, what comes next? Everybody clamoring for the next big altcoin ETFs. Emperor Osmo here saying, what if AVAX does push for an ETF? It wouldn't be that crazy considering list of partners from funds to traditional banking. Can't think of a chain that's better positioned from a regulatory standpoint. Anyway, AVAX to $100. I dig it, man. Could be Avalanche. I think Avalanche has got a lot of things behind it that would make it a good ETF candidate. Polkadot, I think, is in a pretty similar place. And of course, the one that everybody really wants, Solana. Come on, you know those Wall Street dudes. They want a Solana ETF, and they're gonna get it. And think about how crazy Bitcoin and Ethereum. You gotta remember this. Bitcoin and Ethereum are like together 60 to 70% of the entire crypto market. Everything else is a baby. A baby. Solana's a baby. Avalanche is a baby. These are tiny assets. If these actually get opened up to Wall Street money inflows, holy crap. It's going to be crazy. Let's just put it that way. Of course, now that ETH is pumping, everyone starts thinking about, well, what are the key ETH beta plays? Because, yeah, okay, ETH pumping 25% is great, but we want bigger gains, right? We want to get this thing that's going to go multiple X's. Thor here pointing out stuff like Lido Finance, Athena, Pepe, Uni, Arbitrum have been best performers, which is crazy because, Uni and Arbitrum are completely worthless garbage junk governance tokens that don't really make any sense to pump, but they pump because for some reason the market values what they do. Other coins there, Pepe, Pepe is more honest, isn't it? Oh, go govern Uniswap and Arbitrum, man. No, you're not. You're not going to go govern Uniswap and Arbitrum. Get out of here with the bullshit. Okay. But if you buy Pepe, you don't have to govern anything. It's just a damn frog coin. It's more honest money, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. Anyway, lots of interesting ETH beta plays out there, but perhaps, as the guys from Basenji point out, perhaps we should always be paying attention to base. On-chain summer is coming. Maybe base and the entire base ecosystem, whether it be things like Aerodrome Finance or Brett or, dark horse good boy plays like Benji here that have this big potential because the whole base ecosystem of smart wallets launching anytime here soon. That's going to happen. Ethereum ETF vibes, all this positive wins in the sales of the market. Big potential for base to really kick off in such a scenario. And of course, on the back of all this, all this otherwise super bullish things I've just said, look what happened last week. Last week, spot Bitcoin ETFs brought in 14,389 BTC. Miners only made 3,150 last week. Demand is exceeding supply significantly. Are you seeing what's happening here? And by the way, ETH, when we get that sucker coming in, ETH, it's currently deflationary. Yeah, I think the entire market is super primed right now. Just think about it. Bitcoin ETF inflows are just pumping recently. Wild amounts last week. We've already seen huge inflows this week with multi-$100 million days. Great, fantastic to see. Ethereum ETF, if it gets approved this week, okay? Let's not count the chicken before it hatches. However, looking very optimistic right now in the market. So very exciting to see. Let me know what you think. Are we going to get that Ethereum ETF approval this week, or is this just some kind of last minute big fake out from the SEC? Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.